Hi everyone, this is Suzanne Wagner and welcome to the Astrology for 2019. I want to start this month's astrology by taking a look backwards so we can kind of go forward. After all, review is helpful in being able to understand these complex cycles that we are presently unfolding. I'm doing this video a few days before September 1st. And as you know, by just watching the news, there are so many things happening on so many levels, and it's adding to the stress that everybody is going through. So we've got these fast-moving planets. Well, let's sort it this way. There are some fast-moving planets that often reflect human psychology and show us where we are happy, sad, angry, romantic, violent, sort of like a Shakespearean drama. It is the slower moving planets, the outer planets, that grind their way through and unfold a much broader planetary way that shows the cultural patterns and trends that impact everyone worldwide. So these big planetary aspects manifest as big changes in the world perspectives and priorities. Such huge planetary aspects take decades to unfold and register. They are often related to big shifts in society, economics, politics, and priorities. In 2016 and 2017, there was a Uranus conjunction to the dwarf planet Eris, heralding a time of social and political collapse on a global scale. This planet was discovered in 2005 and was considered the 10th planet in our solar system, but it got demoted to a dwarf planet instead. It is named after the Greek god of discord and strife. It is the planet of rebellion and a reminder that rebellion is within everyone and comes in many forms. In 2017, we had the Great American Eclipse, which impacted the entire United States, accelerating the climate change issues, the environmental changes, making them feel very real and finally registering as urgent. It was not just a global moment, but it has also impacted the United States astrological chart in very intense ways. It was the big warning of what was ahead and a wake-up alarm to the times in which we find ourselves now. Wildfires, hurricanes, water problems, earthquakes, and volcanic activity began to multiply globally, and that is really being seen right now with the fires in Africa, the fires in the Arctic, the fires in obviously South America and in Brazil. So here we are now in 2018, and we're going to look at this as a pattern through 2021. So during that particular cycle that we're in, we're dealing with this Saturn-Pluto-Eris conjunction. And Saturn is all about structures, and Pluto is about death, the death of, and the rebirth of. So we will be experiencing the death of the old collective support structures that used to be the norm. We will see old agreements torn up and democracy as we have known it, and the old financial systems are going to have to be reworked. Saturn-Pluto conjunctions are like a filter that keeps getting finer and more refined. The tighter weave of them coming together makes things that were previously allowed through suddenly caught in the very demanding and discerning filter of these two planets. Anything false is going to be forcefully removed and deconstructed. It shines a light on absolute goodness and absolute evil. It shakes loose all illusions and tests the resiliency of all structures. The seriousness of both of these planets in Capricorn indicates that a major restructuring and redistribution is going to be required. Regardless, this conjunction on January 12, 2020 is the tax collector from past karmic debt finally coming to collect. Because the Lord of Karma and Time, Saturn, will not change direction in Capricorn again until 2048, the moment we're in these first 15 days of September is a big moment. It's time to build a permanent structure for the next phase of growth. Saturn is all about getting real, and that harsh reality is hitting everyone in the face. Wherever this Saturn-Pluto conjunction is hitting your personal chart, you will be undergoing a complete and total renovation. If you have not done it already, September, the first part of September, is the time to do a major reset of your intentions, purpose, direction, and goals. It should be crystal clear that what you thought you wanted is now not going to work. In fact, you probably don't even want it anymore. It's time to look at what is really relevant now. It's time to become self-supporting and independent. This cycle cannot have you leaning on others. Notice what is working in your life. Is it working fluidly? If it is not working, you have to recalculate what is going to be necessary to go forward. Saturn is giving you your final reality check at the beginning of September. It is attempting to get you to review and resolve the polarities in your life. You cannot shift your operating system of consciousness if you are wasting RAM in looping old modes of software. Saturn is attempting to get you to let go of seeing him as the critical parent that never acknowledges your work or effort, because Saturn in his higher form is all about being a mentor, pushing you to your higher potential, whether you like it or not. Saturn this month will be the Tower card, breaking down the old structures and tearing apart the old world. If you have not been willing to do the work to create a new structure in your world, you may not be able to escape your fate as everything begins to unravel at the end of the year. You will be compelled to fulfill the promise of awakening your soul to its highest potential, one way or the other. Within you is the wisdom of all your ancestors' inner ways. When your old world crashes down, you will discover that the memories of the ancients in your core awaken and give you insights and tools to remember. You have many guides that are all within. Saturn will never let you give your power away to someone else. Some of you may want to swallow Morpheus's blue pill so you can go to sleep in the illusion. However, if you have chosen the red pill, you have chosen to act and move with free will. You have decided to be your own guide and mentor. You decided to allow life, nature, and synchronicity to teach you. If that is the case, then it is time to put your higher goals and interests into the forefront. Know that steps to higher consciousness cannot be negotiated with the divine. You are being asked to choose a side. Keeping one foot in the old world and one foot in the new world is no longer an option. Your willpower will either feel like it's collapsing or intensifying. If you want to first consider the outside and then how you feel on the inside, that will not lead you through the chaos. You will need to feel the inside first and then decide an action to take externally in the world. Your inner self will find the way through seemingly impossible tasks. Once Saturn goes direct on September 18th, hopefully you will have discovered what it is that you are here to deal with for the next few decades. Make sure that you like it. Make sure it is something that will work for you on all levels. It's time to repurpose that old dream into something that will create a new life for you. It is no longer about doing inner work. It is about living organically and in the flow of life and the natural order. It is no longer about striving. It is about recognizing that you have to do the steps consistently. September is not about needing permission from others. It is about owning your own self-agency in life and doing what is right rather than what others tell you. It is about noticing where you have expectations and instead discover the curiosity in looking past the obvious. In September, you begin a new relationship to your spiritual journey. Such a journey is never about belonging in a group, but about going out on your own. Saturn and Pluto are going to pull all the safety nets away from your trapeze act. So now you have to believe in yourself, commit fully to what you're going for, own your power, and just do what you have to do to get across that vast abyss of this conjunction. What you do for a job in the world now will have nothing necessarily to do with your calling in life. For most, your career is not your spiritual mission in life. All the maps that you have followed up to this point have led you to this place. You are in a place where all the maps end. But what begins is your true potential. Your potential is a wild thing. It is not along any previous predetermined path. From this point on, you are molding and shaping your path with each step and each choice. While everyone has an astrological matrix that you have been following, there are moments in time where you can step off the grid of the old habits and behaviors. It's no longer about finding or doing your purpose. It is about doing what is right. You are at the highest vibration when you embody your wildest self. And I don't mean your crazy self, but you're at one with, connected to the divine self. Within you is a high-stepping horse that just wants to cut loose and run, really run. And it is time to let go of what someone told you and find your own passion and flow to really go. Another metaphor to look at is within you is a bonsai tree that has been trimmed and cultivated to look a perfect certain way. But it wants to root in more dirt and explode into its bigness. And that's what September is trying to get you to do, is to take yourself out of the pot, put yourself in the perfect place with dirt and bright sun so that you can really grow. You are wildness still untapped. Your restlessness is that wildness trying to find a doorway that is unguarded by your mind, and the flow of magic within you is helping it escape the confines of your repetitive behavior. Can you trust your soul to steer your evolution in the direction of universal flow? In September, we finally turn past the ideas of empowering the individual and decide to move in a collaborative way with others. It is not about I. It is that we are all in this together. And it is the only way that we can heal this world and give our children any sort of a future at all. The building blocks of this Saturn-Pluto energy are finding how to add value to this world by being truthful, collaborating with others, viewing all things from collective consciousness, sharing authentically with others, being open, finding true tribe, being vulnerable, telling the truth, being your essence, and accepting all and everyone and all life forms as equal. There are not a lot of big astrological shifts occurring in September, which means that you should be able to get projects moving. Jupiter is finally roaring forward in mid-August, and slow Saturn starts moving forward by the middle of the month. Ambitious Mars is moving through hardworking Virgo all month, so it's a great time to get organized and be more efficient. September is about creating structures that will work and refining them to be the best thing possible. So, think of this month as preparation. We're in the month of Virgo, which is strategizing and structures and spreadsheets and lists. And now's the time to get things very, very organized and to clear the clutter and to get everything into a place that you feel is simplified, balanced, handleable, and that you know what's really important and what's not really important. So enjoy this month, enjoy as we start to cool off, and let's all pray for the fires to stop and for no more fires to happen and no more terrible hurricanes to happen. And even though I'm sure they're going to, based on all of the astrology, but I just think a mindset that we can all work together is what's really important. And perhaps it's going to take the total destruction of the lungs of the planet to get everybody to finally come together, because if we can't breathe, there is no future. So I hope and pray for the Amazon to stop being on fire and Africa to stop being on fire, and people that have money and greed to stop seeing that only money is the most important thing in this world. Thanks.